Yeah.
So I want to just wait.
Just yeah.
And just say to me,
just let you do it.
Can you just?
How did you do it? Yeah.
Can you just wait here for a second? I just need to talk to you. There's nobody behind us. You're under my control. Yeah. There was no need to make a big palaver about it stopping me and approach at the crossroads.
Okay.
As the subject's emerging. Yeah.
Yeah.
So where else have I not allowed you to rub bits and make the links?
Well, I was going to talk about where, as we were driving down the road, I was going to talk about where the curb was cutting through, because it is essentially the same, isn't it, for turning left? You're having the curb come through the window at the same place, aren't you?
It wouldn't work.
Okay, no, that's okay.
It wouldn't work with a real pupil. The examiner wouldn't go along with that
Okay.
either. You mean my position for normal driving?
Well, yeah, because it's a metre from the curb, which is close to it.
Yeah, but my position...
Okay, no, I'll accept that.
Yeah, you never let me finish. That's why you never learn.
Sorry.
Yeah, my position was okay, wasn't it? And my position up to the corner was okay.
Yeah.
It's my point to turn is wrong, isn't it?
Okay, yeah.
So there is no link that you can make with my normal driving position. It's my point to turn you're going to have to make it, yeah?
Yeah.
But the opportunity, if you're just a little bit patient, would have arisen, yeah? If it doesn't, then on the next emerge, you're going to have to control the situation, because although I'm at a train stage and I've got a test coming up, I've still made an error. So therefore you can take me back to the phase 1 on that error only, yeah, because that's the only bit I've got wrong, yeah? And if there's nobody behind me, get me to cover the brake, bring the speed down to walking pace, yeah? And that gives you a good opportunity to say, steer to me, steer to me, steer to me, that's enough.
Okay.
Yeah?
Yep.
And stop at the giveaway line. And then ask me where's the curb into the car, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's loads of different ways to skin a cat. But making the links is probably the easiest way.
Oh yeah, I understand the whole concept of linking the correct procedures that you're doing on the bits that you can't make errors on, and transferring it across to the subject. I do understand that.
The only bit that worries me about you, what you got coming up, is that you don't watch your pupils very well.
Right.
Yeah. You must realise that yourself, yeah?
Yeah, I tend to do it differently with pupils.
Okay.
I know I do it differently with pupils. I feel it in myself. So
Michael, I really can't understand why you're treating me.
I know.
Any different than a pupil, yeah?
Yeah.
Because the only difference is the fact that I'm not going to kill you because I don't want to kill myself, yeah? I'm not going to kill anybody else on the road, yeah?
Yeah.
And similarly, the examiner will not want to kill himself or injure anybody else or even damage your car, yeah?
Yeah.
Because if he damages your car, you've got a claim against the DVSA, yeah? But that's the only difference. Yeah. What we're trying to do in this part 3 is to give you the tools to use with your pupils, yeah? And I don't know whether it's an advantage or a disadvantage, but you're out on a pink license at the moment. I personally think it's a disadvantage. But some people say it's an advantage, but everybody's entitled to their own opinion. But I'm just, I just seem to get an awful lot of errors in, and then I do let them go for quite a while, because I sometimes have a feeling you are going to spot them, like in the mirrors. But we're getting very near the end of the subject by the time we spot them, yeah? Yeah, you should never allow me to stop over a giveaway line.
Yeah.
And yet I've done it right at the test centre, yeah? That can be quite a busy junction, can't it?
Yeah. So, when you're talking about fully trained, trained, yeah, part 2. We're going out to do emerging, You're asking what, from the very outset, you're asking, so where are you going to stop? Asking them the question. I mean,
Watch him.
Yeah.
Watch him. It's good. Yeah. When you sit beside a learning driver and they come up to a junction, do you not get the slightest clue what they might be going to do?
Oh yeah.
What gives you that clue?
Well, generally speaking, at the very early stages, they're driving much slower.
No, I'm talking about somebody who's at the same level that I've given you in the word picture. Trained with a test coming up in 3 weeks' time, yeah?
Yeah. Everything, how they're preparing to approach that junction, whether they're looking in the mirrors, whether they're easing off the speed, whether they're thinking about changing gear, changing down a gear.
Yeah, I mean, they may well get a gear, but you do know there's a giveaway line, or even worse, it could be a stop line.
Yeah.
Coming up ahead. And you're not watching them to see what they're going to do.
Oh, I am. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Where are you looking when they're looking in the mirrors then?
Well, I'm watching them, and then I'm looking over my shoulder. I'm checking for myself. So I'm watching to see they do it, and then I'm checking for myself.
No, I'm talking about an approach to an emerge.
Oh, so where? Say again?
Yeah, as they're approaching an emerge, the routine is mirror, signal, position, speed, look routine, yeah?
Yeah. Well, I'm looking at them.
You're not looking at me.
I don't like looking at you. Yeah, but no, I take exactly what you're saying on board. I take exactly what you're saying on board. It's a mental thing that I've got to get around in my head. But with the learners I'm watching them, I know I am.
You need to study the core comps a lot more, yeah. There's a lot of good advice on the videos. Yeah. You're never ever going to teach mirrors by rote, yeah. Okay, I'll admit that if I was there in the driver view for real, I might check the mirrors just to get you off my back, yeah. And so I don't get a headache. Or I may even do it on my test, thinking, oh yeah, I remember he was moaning at me all the time. But
I understand why and what you're looking for.
After I pass my driving test, what am I going to do?
Oh, drive like a lunatic.
Yeah, I'm never looking at mirrors again, am I? Why not?
Well, you don't know why.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I need to know the reasons why. Why do I need another reason?
You need to know what you're looking for and what the consequences are.
It's the risk, isn't it?
Yep.
Yeah. I've got to know that. You know, if I don't do what I should do, I'm putting you at risk, myself at risk, passengers at risk, every other road user at risk. Yeah. That's the one thing that may stay in a 17-year-old's head. You might only get through the half a dozen of them, yeah. But half a dozen is better than none, yeah. But you'll never get through to any of them just by doing this road business. Show your mirror.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, you've got to take it deeper than that. Yeah. If they're not checking the mirrors, yeah, I totally agree. If you're spending 50 or 60 hours with them, you will eventually get them check their mirrors, but they'll only be checking them just to get you off their back, yeah. And again, they may do a 40-minute driving test. They may go, yeah, I've got all that. Yeah, the examiner loves that. Yeah. And the examiner can't mark any fault because no fault's been made. Yeah. But you know in the back of your mind that when that pupil leaves you, well, you should know anyway, that you haven't done your job right. You know, have you made that pupil? Have you put that pupil on the road to save driving for life? No, nowhere near it. So come in with the reasons.
Yep.
Bang them home. Tell me about the risk. If I get that area in, just make sure I understand the risk, yeah? Because there is an awful lot of risk.
Yeah.
Any action I take on that road ahead, if I don't know what's happening behind, anything could happen. It could be driving down there that you've got the lady with the child and pushing the buggy, yeah?
Yeah, yeah.
If I know what's happening behind me and I just come up and stop, there could be an Argos lorry behind me.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, it's probably weighs about 10 tonne, yeah? If he's very close to me, we're probably all going to die, aren't we? Apart from the lorry driver, yeah?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Because he's going to push me into those pedestrians. You've got 1, 2, 3 pedestrians taken out. Probably both of us. Got any passengers in the back? They're probably dead as well.
Yeah.
Got to think about the reasons why. Yeah? This is what this job's all about, yeah? Is it, you know, it's not just getting you through part 3, which is, in my opinion, a piece of cake, really. But what happens afterwards?
Yeah, yeah.
And you certainly won't get away with it on a standards check. You'll get eaten alive, yeah? Because don't forget, the examiner's not going to be sitting there role playing. He's going to be watching a real pupil. And he's going to be listening to, or I should say he or she is going to be listening to every word, yeah? And they will understand that you haven't managed your risk. And you won't pass. You'd be lucky if you get a 4 or a 5 on the risk management. And you need at least 8 to pass the exam, yeah? Yeah, so come on. Instead of going out tonight and tomorrow night, get your head down and have a think about what you're doing, yeah?
Yeah, yeah.
And then start working with the pupils that you're teaching at the moment. There's no good going away from your lessons and not putting that into practice, yeah? Because if you're not, you're only using that license as a license to earn, where it should be a license to learn, really. Sorry to give you a lecture.
That's right. And you know, for whatever reason, whatever mental block gets in the way, I do it differently in the car with you. I don't know why. I gave myself a big old talking to on the way over here. It's like, now come on, you got to just forget it, Tony. It's just another lesson that you're giving. And you know, I was doing it yesterday afternoon with that new pupil. Just all the time, reasons, you know, consequence, all the rest of it.
Yeah, I mean, the driving standards agency are well aware of the fact that the Part 3 is not really suitable, but yeah, and there is a couple of proposals on the table at the moment, yeah? But it's not as bad a tool as what everybody is saying it is. It's I mean, the format's not that bad. Everybody makes it out to be, oh yeah, the role play is, you know, a rubbish way of learning. Well, it's not really. And especially now that we're, you know, moving it along, we're you know, we've got a chance now to put a bit of client-central learning in, and things are moving on. We're making the links and so forth, and that. We're giving you the tools to learn. The tools to teach your pupil. Yeah, the only other way to actually make the Part 3 real is for you to take a real learner on a Part 3, which is one of the proposals on the table. But I personally can't see it working. Yeah, there is two other options on the table, but not much point in going into them at the moment until we know more about them. But what we have at the moment is, it's not a bad format. Yeah, it's not really that fit for purpose, especially now the standards checks in. But we have actually now got links we can make to link it to the standards check. You know, where we can teach a bit of client-central learning. I haven't done it with you because I wanted to speak to a few examiners before I actually went ahead with it. But they say it's fine to use it, and they say they'll go along with it. And as from tomorrow, I will start using it. you know, once that examiner goes into role, treat them as a real learner.
Yep.
Because with good instruction, they'll probably be the best learner you've ever had.
Yep.
With bad instruction, they'll be your biggest nightmare. And that's always the way it's been, yeah? Yeah, I know both phases are very short. And that's really why you can't afford to be...
You can't be late. Yeah, you can't be late to the party. You've got to get in there, haven't you?
Yeah, and that is a problem. You are very late. You know, we're 4 or 5 junctions in before you realise I was stopping over the white line. You were another 4 or 5 junctions in before you realised I was missing the mirrors. So I mean, the party's nearly over, isn't it? Now you're probably thinking, oh right, I better start catching up on this now, yeah? But at a certain point, you know, the examiner has got another phase to move on to.
Yeah, I think you're right. I overcomplicate it. I'm sat there for the first go and thinking, right, what's Tony going to do to me now? What's he going to throw in? What am I, you know? And
well, you should have a pretty good idea what's going to come up. And then to do with junctions is, you know, mirror signal, position, speed, look routine. Isn't it? Yeah. I mean, at the start we came down to the traffic lights. We were turning right, and we were sitting there for a bit, and you mentioned pedestrians. And you mentioned pedestrians standing on the corner. Make it a bit clearer. They're standing on the pavement, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, I gave you the right answer, didn't I?
Yeah.
And then you said, if they had a foot in the road. I gave you the right answer, didn't I?
Yeah.
I still had a bit of room to play there, though, didn't I? Cool. And emerge.
Cool.
What could I have done?
Well, you could have picked a...
How many times have you met my next door neighbour? Say?
I haven't.
Oh, listen, how many times have you met my next door neighbour? Or somebody I know?
Oh, yeah, wave across, yeah.
Yeah, so if you just got that last question in...
Yeah.
At least then I know that you know that I shouldn't beckon people across, yeah?
Yeah.
It's bloody dangerous, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's dangerous. Yeah, okay. If we do it, we're not going to do it dangerously. And you've got to react to it. But if you have to react to it, providing everything else is up to scratch, you can pass. But it's only you're only ever going to scrape a pass. Because you're reacting all the time. You're letting the errors come in and you're reacting. It's the same way with pedestrian crossing use signals. You know, we've done that a couple of times. The first time we done it, it was absolute...
Oh, it was rubbish.
Absolute rubbish, wasn't it? And I didn't get a chance to make clarity on the video, and I should have done, really. I was so knackered at the end of it. It was a little more than Leonera. You were making a point on the video with your previous trainer, made it very clear to you that the types of crossings are not important. He's right. I'm not interested in types of crossing.
Yeah.
But it was a phase 1 subject, wasn't it? What I was interested in was how to identify the ones.
Yeah.
Yeah? And if you look back at that first video, up Crawley Green Road from the, it's called a Manor Road roundabout. We went across 2 crossings.
Yeah.
And then I chucked your great big lifeline. Are you going to take me somewhere where there's some crossings? Oh yeah, we're going to get there soon, yeah?
Yeah.
And the other lifeline was, I gave it lots of welly, didn't I? On approach, yeah? Yeah, identification. And then when you look at the second time, we done it a week later. Because you went back and looked at the videos, didn't you?
Yeah.
And you had me spotting the crossings very, very quickly, didn't you? And then what were you able to do? As soon as you had me spotting the crossings?
Start the education process.
Well, you were able to start prompting me, weren't you?
Yeah.
I was practically doing it independent.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't have got independent on the first one, would I?
No.
I spent half my time looking for gazelles, and I spent the other half looking for flashing ambers everywhere, yeah?
Yeah.
Which, you know, never appeared, yeah? Makes sense?
Yeah.
You're an intelligent bloke. I just don't know why you don't get your head around this. Yeah.
Yeah, I know. It's I overcomplicate it.
Sorry.
I overcomplicate it.
And you don't watch. You don't watch. don't watch enough, yeah?
Yeah.
If it's a new subject, it's got to be down to you to make sure that your pupil can identify the subject, yeah? If it's pedestrian crossings, it's not that difficult, yeah?
Yeah.
Look ahead, see those Venetian beacons on the end of those black and white posts? And also zigzag lines on approach? That's a bloody zebra crossing, isn't
Something I
it?
picked up from watching Emerge videos in the week was, and I hadn't made the link for whatever reason. I hadn't made the deduction, but I realised as soon as everybody that was running out of time on the emerges to get the instruction in, it was because they hadn't identified the emerge early enough. And I learned that, obviously. So if there was the word emerge right at the end of this road, the quicker I identify, the quicker you're going to tell me which way we're going to go, the quicker I can start, right, which mirrors you're going to check, what speed you're going to do, and it just buys you that bit of time.
Well, they will tell you where to go, because they have to, because you know, they can't just let you keep going straight forward. You can end up in somebody's living room, aren't they?
Yeah.
Or in the middle of a field. But they're going to be listening to you a lot more. If you know, we're talking about the early stages of partly trained. If you're talking about how to identify, it's education, isn't it?
Yeah.
You know, if you were educating me, I'd be listening, and that's why the second pedestrian crosses went a lot better.
Yeah.
And the reason why I marked it a 4 instead of a 5, it would have been a 5, but you never quite dealt with the signals.
Right.
Yeah, you touched upon it, and it was enough for you to scrape it past, yeah. But that would have been. That would have gone from a 4 to a 5.
Yeah.
If you'd have just dealt with the signals. But the timing of the signals wasn't very good. I was really, really late on most of them, and you didn't pick up on it. You know, you were letting me signal coming off. Coming off mini roundabouts.
Yeah, I think we said there was about 5 or 6.
You know,
I missed. Yeah.
I've got to move my hand to get to that indicator, haven't I? You know, if you see me coming onto a mini roundabout, don't. And then there's phase 1 come in with the reason why. And then, once that's happened 2 or 3 times, come back at me.
Yeah. Why do we not see?
Well, you know, we're going to follow the road straight onto this roundabout. Do we need to indicate to come off? No. Why? Because the car's already there, yeah? Because especially if I'm doing a right at the roundabout, trying to get an indicator onto the left, it could be disastrous, couldn't it?
Yeah.
Does that make any sense?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so if you watch them, you will actually get, you know, loads of clues, the same way you will from your pupils. You know, you're telling me to watch pedestrians, watch their body language, in the same way your pupils use body language, don't they?
Yes.
Yeah. And the examiner will role play it as near to a pupil as they can, yeah? Don't forget, you're going out with a person, with an examiner who's, you know, just role playing just to pee you off. He's role playing what he sees. Don't forget, every examiner carries out B tests, normal driving tests. If you get in at if you get in at Luton, he's probably the most experienced there. He carries out 2s and 3s, B tests. Every test